It's like, you can delete this part if you want. I had a really hard time cooking when I was gone because I didn't have any connection to the food. It would be like, all right, here's what it is. You've got 30 minutes to go shop at a Whole Foods, come up with a dish, and that's not how I cook. I cook where I like to have the connection. I like to be seasonal. It took a lot for me to like remove myself from where I was and try to put myself here and be like, all right, cool. Like, I know in Chicago it's probably getting cooler. Like they're probably not gonna have that crazy amount of chicories, but like at least I can use endive. And I know Nichols Farm will have cauliflower. I can throw that in a dish. And like the challenge was rabbit, so that all worked together. Like that was hard. I think for me, like I do better. I enjoy it when there's a connection like that. And I think the connection that you've built with all of your makers and producers, I understand a lot better. And that connection that you've made is something that I appreciate. So like it really gets me excited about cooking with your wine. And then it like, I don't know, I feel like the care that you put into that is like the care that I like to put into my relationships with my food makers and food producers. So like it does that for me. Yeah, I don't know. That was like a little tangent, but
Yeah. No, I love it, and it is then the extension of saying, like, for us sometimes we do that, and then the wine gets opened at we don't know where, and I always hope that that wine brings pleasure to somebody, even if they didn't know it, right? Like
yeah,
they taste the apple and like, holy shit, this is not an apple, right? There's something going on here, and it's like, oh yeah, well, I was grown half an hour away by somebody who really cares, and it's like, oh, okay, that's a different thing.
exactly.
And so for our wines to be in that position where there's people recognizing that to
Yeah.
start out, now they hit the table here and it's like, yeah, everything just jives.
Yeah,
That's where it's supposed to be.
and I think too, it's like when in the spring, like late spring, early summer, when we decided to do like the garden wine tastings, like I think for me, like we didn't make a nickel on any of those events. We would order 10 different wines and do food. And the point wasn't to make money. The point was to get people opened up to new wine and just a different experience and to see what we're doing here and kind of put them in a spot where they can see like the food that you're eating, like the herbs, the kale, whatever, the peppers, tomatoes, everything that you're eating right now came from where you're standing. That's the same viewpoint, and that's kind of how these winemakers are doing it, is like they want to take and put you in that vineyard within that bottle and like really express their viewpoint of winemaking. And I don't know, I just like that was the idea. And I remember I texted Emily and I'm like, we should just have people sit, like bring people outside, bring them together, give them a slew of wine that they've never had before, and allow them to experience what we get to experience when we do tastings, and try to educate, but then also kind of just bring people together around wine and what we like to celebrate. So yeah, like that whole experience was meant just to like really highlight what you are doing, but more so what the winemaker is doing, and like push that forward. And selfishly, I would love to be sitting in a garden drinking 10 different varieties of awesome wine with Scott. I should really buy tickets to one of those and not work, but I can't. Yeah, I don't know. That was like